Have you ever finished a anime for any season? Have you ever thought, damn, that was a really good anime, but man, I had no one else to talk to, and I don't see anybody making videos on said anime that I've just watched this season. Either it's fall, winter, spring, summer, and you're just stuck there like, damn. But fear not, that's what I'm doing here in my Let's Talk a Bit videos that I do each season of every anime out. First of all, I wanted to apologize because I have not uploaded for at least 4 months. Like I said, I wanted to say I apologize for that. So I hope you guys understand. I'll explain all this at the end of the video because I know you're not here for what my channel's about. You guys are here for anime and manga. So if you don't know, in my Let's Talk a Bit videos, I tend to talk about the animes of the season. Well, it used to be 2 animes of the season, but I've changed it to now all the animes I've watched that season to 2 mangas. But yes, I forgot to do spring anime 2021 season, so I'm gonna combine all the animes I've watched in spring anime 2021 and summer anime 2021. I'm gonna combine those 2 and make it one video, so hopefully this video is not 2 hours long, because I know that usually takes at least 30 to like 40 minutes to make one Let's Talk a Bit video on all the animes I've watched, and it's gonna be 2 seasons, so that's gonna be like whatever. So yeah, so before I get into it, I wanted to say too that no, this is not an in-depth analysis for each anime that I've seen. I'm not gonna go deep dive, talk about this about the anime, what I thought about this of the anime, how do I critique the anime. It's just my personal opinion on said anime, and if you guys have an opinion of whatever anime I'm talking about in that section, to comment below, because I would like to see what you think about the show. Forgot to mention that I'm gonna time myself and put a minute for each time I talk about an anime, because I tend to like drag it a bit, so I don't want to keep like holding you guys back for a certain anime. I'm just gonna talk about it for 1 minute. I set up my timer right now after I say the title's name, so because I tend to not really like saying, oh, this show's fucking trash, fuck this show, this and that. I like to have a fair look at it and say what I thought about it. So I'm gonna have to look up some of these shows because I think some of them are in Japanese, so I actually can't recognize it because I have text on my notes right here. So like I said, we're gonna get into the video, and we're gonna be talking about first spring anime of 2021. So, first anime here is Koi to Yobu ni wa Kimoichi Warui. That's how you say that. So, I've seen the picture right now. This was actually pretty. I really like this show, only because it was like a romance. But I know there's a bit of a controversy because she is a high schooler and this guy's an adult. So like I understand that, but it was still a cute show. If you don't know, it was this guy, I think his name is Rio, and other main girl is named Ichika. Yeah, Ichika. And I think the first episode was he was like tired. He was gonna fall down like a stairway. I think it was like in a subway area, and well, not subway, but like where he was gonna fall, and she grabs onto him, and I forgot what happens because it's like been like literally like a couple months since I've seen it. But it's a really cute show. I really liked it. And there's my timer. All right, but overall I enjoyed the show. I know I apologize. I know I didn't mention much about the show, but it's a really cute show. I recommend it if you're into romance. But like I said, it's a bit of a controversy because one's an adult, and one's like a kind of a pre-adult. That's how you can say it. He's like in high school. And there's another show in this season that was controversial too, but we'll get to that when we get to that. So I'm not gonna rate these shows, but I'll say I recommend the show for people who are into romance. Alright, next show. Oh wow, literally the next one on the list. Hige wo soru soshite Joshikoise wo hiro. I forgot I had to read the English name too. In English, that's Higehiro. After being rejected, I shaved and took in a high school runaway. Alright, so starting the timer. So this, like I said in the last anime I was talking about, this one is, I think, the controversial one in Japan, because like a businessman takes in a high schooler who was a runaway, and he thinks it's like the right thing to do. Well, it's like a long controversy. I'm not Japanese, but I could probably put a link below, maybe in the description, in the comment of this anime, of like from an actual Japanese person who talks about it. But to be honest, I mean, I enjoyed the show. I didn't really was too into it, because I know everyone, during that season, everyone was like, this is the show right here. It's alright. I mean, there was some cute moments, but I don't think it's as much of a romance. I feel like more it's kind of like a drama a bit, but I don't know, but because I know there was like this girl who ran away, because I think, oh no, it's kind of spoilerish. But in the first episode, my man's walking and he sees like a girl in the front. Oh my god. Okay, so I don't want to spoil the show as much. I forgot to mention that earlier, so you're not gonna get much. But I enjoyed the show. Like I said, this is kind of a controversial show, but it's an alright show. I know I'm calling beyond the thing. Main character is Yoshida, and main girl is called Sayu. And yeah, it's kind of hard for me to recommend it, because I'm not really into the show much, but it was a good show. If you like a kind of like a romancy drama based show, I recommend it. But like I said, I didn't really see much romance. It felt like a weird type of romance. But yeah, like I said, I'll put a video, maybe a link in the descriptions, or maybe a link to someone else's video talking about the show. I think they could give more in-depth analysis, because I think he pretty much explained it more, because like I said, I'm not Japanese and this person is, so he could probably explain it better than I can. Alright, next anime, Odd Taxi, or Odo Takushi. And yeah, this one was like, at first I was like, yo, okay, we got some like B stars. Like, oh shit. Okay, I started the timer. Alright, so I thought it was like gonna be like a B stars. Oh, it's animals. I mean, I ain't a furry, but I mean, if the show looks okay, I'll watch it. But yeah, and it was like, it's an Odd Taxi. You know why? Because it like starts out as a regular taxi driver dude, and then it just goes into like a it starts to go down. Well, down as in like you have like these like henchmen, and you have these guys who are like underground guys. Like, I don't want to say Yakuza, because I don't think they are Yakuza. I think they're just underground dudes who do like trades and stuff. And it's just like, it's Odd Taxi, alright? I expected like a episodic, just regular episode of some guy talking to like his driving these guys and just talking to them. I thought it was gonna be like a slice of life type of shit with a taxi guy, but it wasn't. It was more than that. And the ending, oh my god, that ending when you find out, oh, okay, timer, and I was about to spoil something. Okay, it's not what it thinks, alright? It's not this show. It was entertaining, alright? What I recommended, if you like those mystery types, I guess drama, and it's drama in a sort of like, it's like so much stuff happening, but besides romance, because I don't think there was not even a lick of romance in this show. But like I said, the ending is like you don't expect it. But you could kind of expect it, but it's not expected if you're not expecting it. Alright, but good show. Recommend it, like I said, to anyone who likes those like mystery type shows. Alright, the next anime is called Mars Red, and I don't think there's a Japanese name for it, because it just says Mars Red. Nah, it's funny because there's no Mars and there's no red. Well, there could kind of be red, but it's mostly because I didn't even know what this show was about till I started watching it. or when I started, like when it first started airing. It's mostly about vampires. It's like back in the old day of the Tokyos, like, and vampires started like going around, you know, spreading vampire-ish, and whatever vampire went out of line and like killed people and this and that, they eliminate them. That's what the gist I got when I was watching it. It was kind of confusing because there was like one episode with this and then another episode of that. And then it was like this episode of the crew of vampire guys, and then this other vampire was like in a play, which I didn't really like get it. Even towards the end, like I kind of still didn't get what happened. But yeah, but like I said, it's vampires, and there's the timer. Vampires and yeah, it's something to do with oh yeah, I think when it like that artificial blood, I think spreads the vampires, and they had to eliminate that because if there's a lot of vampires and there's a lot of trouble. But yeah, like I said, I kind of confused with this show because it like started out as some like, I think it was supposed to be a vampire kid, and he's like in a stage and like acting, and then it goes into like these guys who are soldiers, and I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't actually recommend this show because, like I said, it was confusing. It was okay. I really did like it, but like I said, I can't really recommend it. But that's just, like I said, I don't want to keep dragging it on. That's just my opinion on the show. Oh, yes, this show. Fruits Basket, the final season of the third season of the 2019 remake. Man, I really, really love Fruits Basket. I know this is biased as shit, but I've seen the first like original season, and when it ended, I was like, man, I want to see what happens. I want to know more, but like I said, I didn't continue the show, and I heard there was a manga, but that was back then when I didn't read manga. Then when I heard they announced a remake of the season, I quickly ran and tried to find the manga, and I tried to pick up where I left off, or should I say, I waited for. I think I looked it up where it was the last chapter left off from the original anime, and I read on. And then the final season finally came out, and man, to be fair, the ending felt kind of rushed. It felt like a rushed ending, but it was a good ending, I guess you could say, for the season or for the entirety of the show. And man, I'm gonna miss. Oh my god, I know I'm kind of biased right here. I'm gonna miss the Fruits Basket because it holds a place in my heart, and I highly recommend this series. I know that sounds biased as shit because I grew up with this, but highly recommend this show. If you like romance and like I guess drama with like I said, it's not about me in-depth analysis, but all I could say about this, the final season, it was a good season. It had good music. I didn't really like how they like kind of like skipped some stuff in the manga, because I think there was like a situation with like what was Yuki's friend, who's his friend's girlfriend, was actually in the accident that happened with the car, and her Toro's mother. I know they skipped that one, the final season. In the manga you can read it, but not in the show, which is, you know, whatever. But like I said, oh wait, was that spoilers? Okay, I'm gonna stop there, but I really love this show. I highly recommend this show. Alright, the next one is Tensura Nikki Tensei Shitara Slime Dataken, which is the Slime Diaries, the time I got reincarnated as a slime. So to be fair, I actually did not watch the slime anime for, I think it came out a while back, and then I decided to watch it. So then after I got caught up, and then I got caught up with this. It's an alright show. I can't really say it's my favorite show, but there's a lot of action in it. And my man, the slime. Well, this show is not really. It's mostly like little wacky things that happen in like the little village they create. And that's basically what the show is. This is called the Slime Diary, so it's a little like episodic show about like stuff they did in the thing before. I think this is before he becomes a demon lord. Spoilers. And well, I mean, not really spoilers, because mostly isekais, they either become a hero or become a demon lord, whatever. But yeah, I think this was before that events took place in, I think, the second season, because I think this was before the third season. Okay, but like I said, I enjoy the show. It's a cool show. Not really my personal favorite, but I mean, if the DVD comes out, I'd buy it. Just to show my support for the shows I watch. And yeah, but if you haven't seen the first season, you could kind of skip this one, because it's not really like anything important to the main story, which I would assume. It's more like a side thing. If you watch this series, you could skip this one, but like I said, if you want to get a little bit more invested in the characters, I'd say go ahead and watch this. Alright, Shoujo no Marioku wa Banno des. I apologize again. The saint's magic power of omnipotent is omnipotent. Yeah. Hello. Omnipotent. Yeah. Man, do I speak English? Alright, so omnipotent, I think that's how you say that. So this show, oh, for all the timer time. Alright, so this show, it was like, I think this was supposed to be a romance show, like a bit of like drama, and it's also fancy, because I think this is I didn't even know this was an isekai, but when I started watching it, I think she gets isekai'd, or she was like summoned. Did she die? Because I know she was working a lot. I think she overworked herself, and I think she died, but then like these magic guys summoned her into their world. And it's like an isekai. I didn't even know it was an isekai. I thought it was supposed to be like a fantasy show with like a girl who's like training to become like with these like potions and stuff, but I guess it's an isekai. It was a really good show. If you like romance, I'd recommend it, but like I said, I wouldn't recommend this show, because not really much happened besides what happened in the ending. But like I say, she's like an overpowered magic user, and I think that's basically what the show was mainly about. But like I said, it's okay show. I wouldn't recommend it if you don't like fantasy romance type shows, because there wasn't really much magic going on. It's mostly a romance that happened. But yeah, it was an okay show. Alright, so there's Joran, the Princess of the Snow and Blood. I think it's the same thing. And where's my timer? Alright, so this show, I really love the style it had. I think when they transformed, and I didn't even know what this show was about. And yeah, let's just say it's these people with like these powers, and I think they like work for like underground like government in Tokyo. And I know it sounds typical, but I think they were in Tokyo, were they? Hold up, I gotta look this one up. Okay, no, they weren't in Tokyo, but it was during the Meiji era, which I don't really know much about Japanese history, because like I said, I have not dwelled into. Oh shit, the timer was running when I was looking up the info. Fuck. Okay, so I'll let the timer end, but I'll talk a bit of it, because whatever. Hold on, just give me a minute. Okay, I should have paused the timer. Yeah, it was during the Meiji era, and they're like, I think it was like, I think the main character was Sawa Yukimura, and she was like rebelling against like one of the main guys, Jin Kuzuhara. And yeah, basically, and stuff happened. I think the only episode that got me like really like, yo, why wasn't more of this, was like the last episode. But the way they ended it, it's just one anime season. I don't think there's gonna be a season 2. I mean, there could be. I mean, I'm not gonna spoil it, but I don't think there is gonna be for this story. I feel like if anything, this could be a prologue for the other character that was there. But Like I said, I don't think there could be a season 2 for this show, but it was a good show. Like, it was like action, but like the only like really good action that happened was like towards the ending, which I feel like could have been more in around the show. But good show. Like I said, if you like, I guess, historical type animes and like those like people with like super abilities, well, not very super like superhero, but like weird abilities, I'd recommend the show. But I wouldn't recommend the show much to like just any random person. I just recommend people who watch anime. Alright, the next anime is Osanana Jimi ga Zetai ni Makenai love comedy, which is Osamake rom-com where the childhood friend won't lose. So I think this guy's an actor. Well, he's an actor, and I think he had a childhood friend, and I think they had their separate ways, and I think they meet up in high school, and they act like it's like a secret, but like, come on, when you see that flashback, you know that this is supposed to be his childhood friend. Like, come on. Come on, can't stop. It's so obvious. But this is a good show. There's romance. There's like, is there drama? Like, how do you? Drama could be like when there's stuff like, oh shit happening, right? I don't really get the drama thing. I think I use drama mostly for like, let's say like somebody dies and you're like, oh shit. I mean, it could be like tragedy, but does drama specifically have to be romance? Well, this was an entertaining show. They obviously could continue on because I think the manga's still going. Don't quote me on that. It was a good show. Alright, let me stop that. It makes no sense too because I think spoilers. Spoilers. I think the girl, what's her name, with the orange hair? Okay, Kuroha Shida. Literally, like, he literally confesses to her, and she literally rejects it right in front of millions of people, and she still acts like she wants to be like with him. Like, what? That shit makes no fucking sense. Like, if you ever fucking do that shit, like, whatever. But I mean, it was kind of funny in some parts, but yeah, it's a romance show. Hold up. Okay, so this show is comedy, so it makes sense. So it's alright show. It's kind of funny, not really funny. You have to be more of like get the comedy that they're trying to do, because you know I hear from people comedy's subjective, and when you're corny, I ain't gonna laugh at your shit. I'm gonna laugh at you. Alright. So good show, recommended for people who like comedies, I guess, because I don't think there's like a bit of romance, but not really. But it's a good show. Okay, so next show, oh my god. Okay, so I know I'm gonna fuck this one up, but Kyukyuku Shinka Shita Full Drive RPG ga Genjitsu Yorimo Kusoge Datara, which is Full Drive, the ultimate next-gen full drive RPG, is even shittier than real life. Yeah. So, timer. This show was alright. I did like the opening, I think. Yeah, the opening. The ending song wasn't really that good. The ending song, I should say, wasn't really that good. The opening was good. Basically, like a guy who puts on our VR headset. Not really isekai. I think the first half is like he stabs his friend, or his childhood friend, and yeah, it goes on from there. He levels up shitty, and he gets like annoyed by it. And let's just say if he dies in the VR game, his whole entire VR system explodes. But yeah, it was a good show. I did like some of the characters. There could have been more what happened towards the ending of it, but like I said, I think this was, I mean, literally the title says shittier than real life, so I guess when you see the show, you'll notice that everything's fucking shit. So yeah, and everyone treats them like shit in game and also in real life. Alright, so if you really like those fantasy type games and like VR games and stuff like that, I'd recommend this show. If you don't watch anime like that, I guess you could recommend somebody the show, but it's alright show. I enjoyed it. Alright, next show, Super Kabu. And just want to say that I really like this show. For one, it's kind of like a slice of life, and two, it makes me want to buy like a moped or like a motorcycle, because I really enjoy this show. I know I think the front cover picture has 3 girls, but I think the last girl literally shows up like the last couple episodes, which I hate when they do that, because it's like, don't put the character in the fucking picture of like advertising the show if she's not even in it. But like I said, it starts out with the main girl, Koguma, and I guess she's kind of, it looks like she's like suffering from, like, she's kind of depressed, going like on a bike to school, and like yeah, I felt that vibe. So I really enjoyed the show. It's like slow pace, but like the music, everything that's happening, it's like good. I don't know, I can't describe it, but it's a really good show. If you're like bored and like slice of life shows, I recommend this show because it's a really good show. Alright, next anime is Cestus, the Roman fighter, or I'm just gonna say Cestus because there's a V in Cestus, and I don't know. I think you say Cestus, and I'm just gonna keep it like that because I'm just gonna say the Japanese name because I cannot fucking say that name, and I think that's the same thing, but I'm not gonna fucking like I don't know what the fuck, whatever. So this show is CG. I know everyone hates CG. Fuck CG animes. Fuck. But it was actually pretty good. I enjoyed it. There was a lot of tactical like fighting, and it's showing like what happens when you like hit somebody in a certain spot, like back day when you hit somebody there, like this and that, how it's illegal, and then boxing to use your elbows or some shit. It was a really good show. I did like it. I actually thought it was gonna continue on from like what happened in the last episode when everyone started coming around from all over the world globe. But yeah, the Roman fighter, it was pretty good. Not really much action where it's like fucking Dragon Ball Z, fucking whatever other action shows out there with like mad fucking action. Not that type of action, but like fighting action. Or like down ground to earth. So if you like historical type action based animes, Cestus, the Roman fighter, is a good show. Recommend it. Alright, Godzilla Singular Point, or Godzilla SP. So I'm not really too into the Godzilla scene. I mean, I've seen the movies. I haven't seen the original movie, but I've seen a couple of the movies. I really like Godzilla, but not really like Godzilla like that. This show here, that's kind of disappointed. I think it's because I don't know much about the lore, because I know Rodan was in this one. But I never really seen Godzilla like I think towards the ending they show Godzilla, and I think that's about it. But like I said, I'm not too into it because I think Godzilla was like fighting this other guy, this like robot dude. But I think the robot dude was actually part of the series, and I didn't even know that. So I think I didn't really like the show because I was confused. And it's not a bad show. I enjoyed it, but I was too confused with what everything was going on. I was like, what? Who the fuck is that? What monster is that? But if you like Godzilla, maybe watch it. I can't really recommend this show. Why? Because I don't know much about it. I didn't really get none of the monsters that were there, and I don't know if like what's this, what's that. I enjoyed it for like the characters, I guess, that were there, who were trying to stop everything that was happening. But if you watch Godzilla, can someone like tell me what they think about this show? Because I can't really say much about it because I'm not too into the Godzilla series, so I can't really understand much of some of the monsters that were showing up. I did notice Rodan though, the pterodactyl looking dude. But yeah, I can't really say much about this show. Alright, Fairy Ranmaru, Anata no Kokoro Otatsuke Shimasu? I think that's probably how you say that. So yeah, this show, I thought it was gonna be like some of the, like, you know, those where the guy transforms into like a fairy. I thought it was like a magical person. I want to say magical girl because they're guys. I thought it was gonna be that type of show, but it came out way different. And yeah, can I say something? I really like this show. I think it was the first episode with the kid. I forgot what the kid's name is. Hold on, give me a minute. Okay, it's Ai Ranmaru, which is like one of like I guess you could call him a main, because I know there's like a couple other mains, and they like it's like where yeah, I don't know. I found it funny when he transforms and he like a fairy and they're running and it's like a soundtrack. And I remember one of the characters was like, "Yo, yo." I enjoyed this show. There's a kind of like how do I say this? Like a sort of I don't mean to offend people, but like kind of like a gayish vibe you get for some of the characters that transform. It was a really good show. I think the funniest one was, I forgot which episode was it, where everyone was falling in love with one of the idols and the idol comes out. Alright, but it was a good show. I recommend it if you like fairies and musicals, I guess you could say, or a magical and fairy type show. But I recommend if you like those fairy magical. It's not really magical because they come from a certain dimension with like these magical powers. So it's a good show overall. It's really confusing, but I mean, I wouldn't recommend this to just anybody. But I recommend it for people who like those magical type shows, and it's a pretty interesting show. Alright, Zombieland Saga Revenge. So I actually really enjoyed the first season of Zombieland Saga, and my favorite, if you don't know, my favorite idol out of all of them is Nikado Saki, which is like the delinquent type girl. Like, she's obviously the best one there. I don't know, I just like the way she speaks and then the way how she acts. Every time a character acts like that, it's thumbs up for me. I actually bought their figures. I haven't unboxed them because I think I have like a certain rule. Hold on, let me pause this because I'm going out of like line from what I usually talk about the anime. I usually like, if I can see the figure, I keep them in the box since I could just display it like that. Alright, so anyways, it's the second season. I really enjoyed it. I kind of like how they kind of like showed other characters, because I know the first season they had like certain characters, and this one they had the other characters that they didn't really talk about much, like one of the girls, you know, one of those like what's her name, Yugiri. They actually showed a bit more of her. I got kind of confused with that. Was that like I was in that section of her story when they were showing like back then? Like, was that okay? I was kind of confused, but I kind of get it, but not really. But yeah, great season. Can they make a third season? Well, let's just say, in this season, I know I'm going way off my timer. They failed the debut, and then now they're just there trying to like get the revenge, trying to come back. You know, like a phoenix, when you die and you rise up again, like that. Basically what this season was about. And I'm not gonna spoil it at the ending, but yeah. Hopefully they make a third season. I would like it, because I really like their producer guy, Tatsumi Kotaro. I really like that guy. He's the man. But yeah, so good show, recommended if you like those idol type shows. Not Love Live type, but you know, one of those idols. I mean, I don't really want to explain much about the show because I think I have to explain the first season to get what happens in the second season, but it's whatever. Recommend the show though, if you like idols and zombies. Alright, next show is Bakuten Backflip. So I really did like the way they orchestrated their dances when they were on the stage, and they had like everyone like showing them dancing and stuff. I really did like that. But I know that people tend to be like, yo, who the fuck dances, oh, this and that. But it's a really good show. I guess you could say like what's this, gymnastics type show. Would I recommend this? Not really. I mean, like I said, you had to be like a guy. If you like trying anything out, I recommend the show. But it's actually a really good show. But I wouldn't recommend it to just anybody because you're not gonna feel a lot of action. It's mostly like more like them training to get into like them training gymnastics. Mostly the show. I mean, there was like one episode where it was like they were in the school and they were like hiding and it was like some hauntings, which it was so out of place, that episode. But I really enjoyed the show. If you like those like sports shows, I'd recommend it. But if you just, I mean, you could totally skip this one if you wanted. And but it's a really good show. Alright, Kumo desu ga nani ka? So I am a spider, so what? So I did like the music in the openings, and it was confusing, but then you get it at the ending. Like, it first shows her as a spider, and then it shows, I mean, it's, okay, so they get all isekai, this whole classroom gets isekai'd. I don't think they explain how they get isekai. You only see them, like, go transported into another fucking world, and it's good. I already said it in the other isekai, but yeah, it shows a spider girl who tries to level up, and then there's another story where it's this other guy who is with other classmates in school, and like they try to like train, and yeah, basically I don't want to spoil that much of the show, but it's actually a really good show. Too bad like towards like they used a lot of CG in it, so that's the only downside to it, but it was still alright to watch. But if you like isekais and you like drama, and I guess you could say conflict with some characters, I recommend the show. Alright, next show, Back Arrow. So this is a mecha type anime, so yeah. I kind of like don't remember much of the show because, like I said, this is literally spring anime 2021. That was like literally a couple months ago. But I'm looking at a picture of the show. I think from what I remember, there's one side who is mostly tech based, and there's another. Well, there's a wall in between two places, and one side mostly traditional, and the other one's more like futuristic tech. And I think they're in conflict with each other because there's a wall in between. It segregates both of them. So then this guy, I literally forgot his name, comes out, who would think can transform or some shit, and like I'm just gonna stop it there because like I don't really know. I don't remember much of the show. It was an okay show. I really enjoy watching because it's like kind of like a mecha, and there's like kind of like some fight scenes. I don't know. I remember the ending, but I'm not gonna like spoil it because like it was like a weird type ending. They try to like not really Neon Genesis Evangelion it, but they try to do something similar, but kind of more of a happy twist, not like a sad, depressing one. So you're not gonna see anything like that. But if you like mechas and you like historical stuff, because I think there's like kind of like a bit of traditional like Japanese influence on some of the clothing. I guess I'm not Japanese, I apologize. But I really enjoyed the show. Alright, so the next anime is Subarashiki Konosekai, the animation, or The World Ends With You, the animation. So I remember this game came out on DS, but I've never played it. So I had no idea what the fuck this show was about. I used to see people like, yo, this is the game, this is the game, this and that. So they finally made an anime of it. And to be honest, the anime was okay. I did like the music. But it felt like if the game is literally like, if the anime is literally how the game, I mean, maybe the game is better, but I didn't really enjoy the show. I watched it to the end, and if that's how the show, the game ends, how the show ends. I mean, I feel like they left some parts because it was still like kind of like there was like bits and pieces of it that like felt out of place, or not really out of place, but like were missing. I feel like they're mostly telling the story itself rather than the gameplay, which I feel like this because I don't want to tone this, I don't want to throw this down, but I think I need to play the game to probably understand the show. Same thing with Godzilla. I don't want to throw the shows down, but I couldn't really like say it's a good show because it was okay. But if you have if you play the game and you've seen the show and you have an opinion about it, I want to hear it down below. Or should I say, I want to read it down below, just to hear what you guys think about it. Because like I said, I can't really say anything about the show because like I said, I didn't really like the show. And if the game is like that, then maybe there's more context in the game than the show. Alright, so Mashiro no Oto, or the Snow White Notes. I actually did like this show. It's like I think it's a traditional what do you call the instrument? Shamisen? It's like I can't really. It's like almost like kind of like a guitar, like looking, not really like the guitar, but like it's like a traditional, I think, Japanese instrument. And I think the main character wants to play like his grandfather who sadly passes away. Well, I mean, I think he's dead already, but I think he brings it up sometimes. And he was a really good shamisen. That's how you say it, a shamisen player. And I really like I really like how the instrument sounds while they're playing it, where like everything goes quiet and you just hear the strings going then. And I was just like, yo, it's a really good show. Can you classify this as musical? There's a bit of drama, I guess you could say. Like I said, it's kind of confusing when I use the term drama. When I use drama, I mean like suspense in the show. And then there's like it's a really good show. If you like musical type shows, I recommend it. Alright, or if you like watching anime, I'd recommend it. But there's no action in this, so I wouldn't recommend it if you're into that type of stuff. But if you're like me and just like like watching anime for the story it tells, I recommend this show. Okay, I did say 300 right. That's Sanhyakunen. Alright, so I've been killing slimes with 300 max level. This is actually a really cute show. It's a character gets isekai'd and they've been killing slimes to level up, so they're like maxed out their level, so they're like super strong. And yeah, that's basically what it is. And then you get like interact with like other characters like elf girl, and then there's like a ghost, I think, a ghost girl, and then there's like a demon lord girl, and there's just it's like a little, I guess you could say, kind of comedy little show. I wouldn't really recommend this to anybody, but if you like those, like I say, isekai shows and like cute, I guess you could say slice of life, not really, but slice of life show where it's like mostly chill stuff that happens, not really much action or drama that happens, more like a laid back show you could just hook up to the TV or like just play it on the TV. And I recommend the show. It was really enjoyable. Alright, so this is Ijira Naide Nagataro-san. Don't toy with me, Miss Nagataro. So I've actually read the manga and I'm actually caught up with the manga, and I really enjoy the show because I think, if you don't know, the show is mainly about a kid or a teenager or high schooler who gets bullied by a gal, which is Nagataro-san. I kind of forgot her real name. I think, or should I say first name? Is it first name? Man, as I read the manga, I kind of I forget. Well, it's probably because I read a lot of manga. It's a really cute show. I mean, it's like, I think it starts out with like her being kind of like a douche to him in the first episode, but then like towards the end you understand the douchiness, and you grow to like it. I know a lot of people. I know this was like a show everyone hyped up back. Well, the anime community hyped up, and it's a really good show. And I know there was like a kind of a controversy because she's saying she's like a black girl, but no, she just has a tan. That's why I just want to like clarify that. But yeah, it's a really cute show. Well, if you like, how do I say this? I recommend the show. I was gonna keep it at that. I recommend the show. It's a really cute show. With her bullying the main character and like cute interactions. Oh my god, VV Fluoride Eye song. I think it's just the title itself. Man, this show is fucking phenomenal. Like, there's no words to describe how good this show is. VV Fluoride Eyes, when it comes to the music, comes to some visuals, comes to like story. Well, to be fair, the ending was like, they could have made a better ending. But if you don't know, I think this is about, well, I don't think, because well, I could say that, but it's mostly about the main character, or one of like the professors or scientists in the future sends, you'll find out who he is later on the show, or should I, towards the ending, who sends the memory of to Vivi from the past. So then the future that it was happening there, where all the robots going killing everybody, she prevents that from happening. So these events that happen throughout the show leads up to that moment. So she sends her memory back, and then it like shooks her, and she has a robot dude that helps her. Vivi, I think her name was. And I forgot what the little robot guy's name was, but yeah, he helps her, and it's all these answers trying to lead up to the moment that happened of her getting sent back from everyone killing. And I highly recommend the show. It's like not really much action, but yes, action. All right, the visuals, everything. If this anime comes out, buy it and support it, because this was a really good show. It's almost like not really Jujutsu Kaisen levels, but it's like on par with a really good animation. If this is not good anime of the season, of the year, or like visually or music, I don't know what will. But this show right here, highly recommended. I know I'm probably biased because I really like this show, but it's amazing. I'm just gonna say it at that. Alright, this show 86. This was also another really good show. If you don't know, it's about these, I guess you could kind of say like a Nazi-ish type thing, where whoever has silver hair and like has the bloodline of like a certain race, I guess you can say. I guess you could say that's something else. I can't really describe it because they really didn't even go in depth. But there's like a section of them, and there's another section of other people with like, other people with like, I guess another race with like black, red, yellow, darker skin colored race, and they sent these guys to fight these robots, or in their society they see it as just robots being sent out to fight other robots, but in actuality it's these guys in those robots that fight these other robots, and they're actual humans getting killed, but they're using the lesser race to send them out to fight. That's basically what's happening in the show, but I'm not gonna spoil much. But it was oh my god, that timer. But I tell you, this is also a really good show. Great soundtrack. I guess good amount of action, but I didn't even watch it. I watched it for the story. A great story. I actually heard there's a season 2 coming out of it, and I can't wait to watch that. But like I said, this is also same thing with Vivi. These two were really good shows. I highly recommend these shows. Alright, so this is Battle Athletes Dayun Dokai Restore. So I can't really say much about this show. I mean, I really did like everything that happened, but then I realized like halfway into this that there was actually an original series from the show. This is actually like a, well, from watching the original, watching this version, I think this is like a sequel to the other version called I think it's called the same thing, but without the restart. And I was thinking of watching the original after finishing this because towards the ending, you could see that that it's a sequel to that. I don't want to spoil much, but I wouldn't really recommend the show because it wasn't really that good. It was enjoyable, but I wouldn't really say it's like good, you know. But it was okay. If you like watching animes with like sports type events, I recommend it. But this is not just your anime; it's most like a futuristic type sports event, and each character represents like a planet. It was a good show, but like I said, I wouldn't recommend it to just anybody. Alright, so next anime is Shadow House. So I did like the show. It's kind of slow paced. It's mostly Shadow House is mainly where these shadows people have these like people or like I guess kids who like represent. They're the shadows, and the shadow is the person. If that makes sense. So yeah, I think they're supposed to control them, and it's like kind of like a mystery-based show because you don't really know where the fuck they are, and they like they're tested on like how good of a living doll they are to the shadow, and a lot of things happen. I think there's only one character who kind of like you could kind of notice is failing, but she tends to try to help everybody, but people are like, what the fuck are you doing? Help yourself. But it's kind of like a mystery-based anime. I think there was like I think they could make a season 2 because they ended off with like it's kind of like spoilerish, so I'm not gonna mention it. But like I said, if you like those mystery type shows, the ending song was good though. If you like mystery shows, I recommend this show. Alright, next show, Bishonen Tanteidan, which is Pretty Boy Detective Club. It was a really good show. I did like the music in it. I kind of got confused, like I think towards like the second episode, but then the main character is actually, or one of the main characters is a girl, and she dresses up as a boy, and they're like, oh yeah, it's still acceptable because I think I forgot why it's acceptable. It's because like she's like I totally forgot. Like I said, this is a couple months ago, so but I forgot there was a criteria of why she was still in their group in the Pretty Boy Detective Club. But yeah, well, okay, so I can't really say much because I kind of like forgot what. If you like, I guess, mystery solving, not like Scooby-Doo mystery solving, but it's a really alright show. I would recommend it if a typical anime watcher and you like not really, I guess, kind of mystery detective stuff. I'd say I recommend this, but you're not gonna get into the deep dive detective stuff where you're analyzing shit. But yeah, I recommend the show. It's a really good show. Alright, Sentoin Hakenshimasu, which is combatants will be dispatched. So I actually have an opinion, and probably people are not gonna like my opinion about this show because this is the same person who created this is the same person who made Konosuba, which Konosuba was funny. This show, I mean, there's some funny moments, but I did not really much funniness in this show. I mean, I get what they're trying to do, and it's like kind of funny, but I can't really say this. I guess because Konosuba probably like was more funnier than this show. And this show, I mean, I got a couple chuckles like, ha, oh, I see, but not really something where I'm just dying like I did with Konosuba. And I don't know, this is just like a different type of vibe. But like this, I mean, it's basically what these guys, I forgot their names. Okay, so it's Alice and Rokugo, who get sent into another world. And they're there to like try to think oh my god, okay, they're trying to conquer the other world. I'm actually reading the manga. I mean, later on it does kind of get kind of like a bit maybe funny, but like I said, there's not really much comedy in this show. Even though this is supposed to be a comedy show, I think Konosuba is funnier than this show. Like, this is my opinion. If you like this show, then you liked it. But like I said, I can't really compare the two because this is not as funny as Konosuba. All right, next show is Dragon Ye wo Kao. Dragon goes house hunting. So basically, it's a dragon who gets kicked out because he's too weak, and they're like, "You stupid dumbass, get out of here! Get out of here because you can't even do shit." So he's like, "Man, I need to find a house to live now." And it's a comedy-based show, and he's trying to look for a house. And I think he's getting help from this elf dude. But yeah, and he meets some cool characters. There's funny events that happen, and I think towards the end he gets an egg and it becomes a bird. And yeah, it's pretty alright show. I wouldn't recommend this to like just anybody. If you like watching anime, like I said before, and if you like comedy-based shows, I recommend this one. It's not really funny, but it's like funny where you get a chuckle. But you don't really expect to be laughing, dying, but it's an alright show. Spoiler alert, he does not find a house. So there might be another season. Alright, so Nomad Megalo Box 2 or Megalo Box Nomad. I really like this show. I really like the show, even though I really like the first season. But I think this show messes up like the first season. Because what happened in the last episode in this show was like, man, yo, they keep messing up the ending. But I'm not gonna complain because I really love this show. Because if you don't know, Megalo Box is based off Ashita no Joe, and I really love Ashita no Joe, and I really like this show too. But they kind of disappointed me, like the first season and the end of this show. Really great music, really great storytelling. But like the first season of Megalo Box, they kind of like dropped it, and they messed it up, the ending. But I did like it. It was a good ending for the way they ended. I heard this was supposed to be the end of the series. I hope not. I hope it isn't. But if it is, well, it was a good show. Highly recommend Megalo Box. Sayonara Watashi no Kramer, or Kramer. Farewell, my dear Kramer. So, funny thing is that I was not really too invested in the show. I was watching episodes when they came out. Like, it was alright, a soccer show. I mean, it ain't no Blue Lock. It ain't no Captain Tsubasa. But I think towards like the couple episodes in, they've dropped a movie. And if you watch that movie before you watch this series, before you start watching the anime, because that was a really good movie from Sayonara Watashi no Kramer. It really gets you invested with the main character. Man, why the hell didn't they just make that movie first and then the anime? Because then you can get invested more into the character. Because then I find out that movie's actually the first couple chapters in the manga. Because I bought the manga and it's literally the movie. So why didn't they just start the movie first before the anime? But I got really invested into the show after watching that movie, and highly recommend the movie before watching the show. Well, if you like sports anime, then you like soccer, I recommend the show. But the show's not really for everyone, and you know, like I said, you know, if you're just an anime watcher like me, I really recommend you, if you're gonna watch this series, watch the movie before you watch the anime, because then you'll get really invested into the characters. Alright, last final anime for this season. Well, there's a couple I've watched that I'll mention towards the end, but I'm gonna do those when I talk about the next season. So, 7 Nights Revolution Eiyu no Keishosha, which is Seven Knights Revolution Hero's successor. It was okay. I kind of like forgot stuff that happened in the show, but like towards the end, you find out something with the main character. We're just like, what? It's an alright fantasy. Like, I guess you could say supernatural powers because I think they could transform, but not like transform like in a mecha form, but like transform like, and they're like kind of like a bit more powerful than they already are. They use like some sort of magic, but if you like fantasy type shows, I recommend it. Like I said, I can't really say much about it because I kind of forgot some stuff that happened. But when I say I forgot like events that happen and like everything that leads up, so I can't really like say much about it. But I do remember what happens in the beginning, and I do what happens at the ending. So, but like this show, it was okay. I wouldn't really recommend it, but if you like anime, you watch anime, and alright, if you watch anime and you just want to try something out, then I'd say recommend this one. But this wasn't really that good. It was alright. I don't know if they're gonna make a season 2. They could. I mean, they probably will because the way they ended it. But like I said, it was okay, but not really good. So that was all the animes I've watched this season that ended. Because I know you're probably thinking, well, what about To Your Eternity? Oh, hold up. So I know some of you are thinking, what about To Your Eternity? What about To Tokyo Revengers? What about Eden Zero? What about Blue Reflection Ray? What about Shaman King? Well, those are ongoing, well, for this season. But I am going to talk about it when I talk about the next season that I'm about to start talking about, because I think some of them finished except for a couple of them. So, like I said, I do want to mention some of the shirts I've watched, but I'm not going to talk about because, like I said, I'm trying to like keep this short. So then there was Yukunara Mug Cup no Kakmo, which I think it was like about, well, I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna say that's a short I've seen. And then there's Hetalia World Stars that I've seen too, but those are like just some short and honorable mentions I wanted to mention because those are also shows I've seen and they were good too. So I'm gonna end it here. We're gonna get back into another recording so I don't keep dragging this recording on. So, okay, we are back. So now I'm gonna be talking about summer 2021 animes that I've watched because we have just finished recently that season of anime. So man, that was really a long list of shows last season, and now this is a long list of shows this season. But luckily, these shows that I've seen are mostly ones that I remember because I just finished them. So we're gonna go with the first anime here I have on the list. So we got Uramichi Onisan, the life lessons with Uramichi Onisan. So I really love this show. I really love it because it's like your typical adult life where it's fucking depressing, and you have him hosting a kids show where he acts all friendly and cute. And but I do like the way where he was like, he was talking like regular, all nice to the kids, but then when the kids mention something, he gets all fucking depressed. And like, this is a comedy-based show, and I really liked it. I wouldn't really recommend it for everyone. Only if you like comedy-based shows, and maybe I guess kind of like, well, I can't really say much. I could just say it's a comedy-based show. I loved the interaction with his friends, the bear, the rabbit, and I like the interaction with the kids. And they portray kids, like I said, all cute, but in reality they're all assholes. They're like little shits. So I've only kids were like in anime, but they're not. But it's a really good show. I recommend if you like comedy-based shows. Alright, so next show, Fumetsu no Anata e To Your Eternity. And oh my god, this show, like, it's so I mean, I read the manga, I'm caught up with the, well, not really, there's still a couple chapters out. and I think I need to go buy the manga to actually like. But yeah, but like let's just say whatever. This is a really good. I knew this show was gonna be so good when it came out. When I heard there was an anime, I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be a good ass anime. I can't wait what they fucking do. It's gonna be fucking depressing, and it was. Man, I know other people also. I've seen other people make videos about it, and they were also sad and like, good show. Oh my god, like when you watch it, the morale in each character. I mean, I don't know if I said that right. But you feel for every character that shows, and it's just like so sad. And my man Goo Goo, yo, man, this is I highly recommend this show. There's not really much action, but it's mostly like more drama in it, and it's just like you're gonna get feels when you watch this. But highly recommend that show. It's really, really good. To your eternity. All right, so next show, Deatte 5 秒で 5秒で battle, which is battle game in 5 seconds. I could just summarize this by saying everyone gets a cannon. Like the first girl like shows up in the main, like I guess the main girl who makes the whole games up, which is like a cat girl, and she has a cannon. She shoots it, and she like demonstrates how everyone has powers. And the main character has like a power where he like could, if he makes someone think he has the power, he'll have the power. And he mostly uses the cannon, and then later on in the show every other fucking character gets a cannon, and it's just like, is that canon? But it was an alright show. I did not like the main villain like in that season, because I think it's to continue on. Everyone was kind of dumb in the show, and the guy like was the main villain from this show was literally all CG. So every time he showed up, he was CG, and I was like why, why is this guy like this? But it was an okay show. You're not gonna. I mean, it was okay. I mean, I wouldn't actually recommend it because it was kind of like, but it was okay as like a action show. So if you like kind of like actions, I recommend it. But let's just say spoilers: everyone fucking gets a cannon. All right, so Seirei Gensoku. Soki, I mean, not ku, it's ki. Spirit Chronicles. So this was alright. I think a man gets isekai again. Another isekai. And he gets transferred into the world, and he's like kind of like treated like shit. And I think he goes up the ranks and meets another I think his teacher, which is Celia. And the other reason why I kind of like the show a bit was because people used to make fun of this show, saying this guy's Kirito. I think that's how you say his name. Kirito? Hold up. Alright, yeah, so Kirito. They used to call him, it's Kirito. Let's see what Kirito was gonna do today. Like that was funny. But I mean, he kind of does look like Kirito from Sword Art Online. But yeah, it was okay. I guess it's kind of like a harem, I guess, in some spots. But yeah, it was a good show. I recommend it if you like those isekai shows, but it's not something that I really invest too much into. Well, me personally, maybe you guys can, but it's a good show. I really like the storytelling, and yeah, I think they will make a second season, especially the way they ended it. The big reveal, and yeah, so. Well, I'm just gonna end it there, guys. We'll go to the next anime. Alright, so the next anime is Tensei Shitara Slime Dataken Second Season Part 2. The time I got reincarnated as a slime, Season 2, Part 2. So, like I said, I think I already talked about from the Slime Diaries that I just started recently watching it. I do enjoy the show. I can't really say this is my favorite show, and for this season I kind of enjoyed it because he goes to like meet up with like other demon lords, and Yeah, it was like a lot of talking, dialogue, world. I guess kind of like event building in like this season. How can you like throw in my man's Dio? Well, it's not really Dio. It's one of the other demon lords who controls Milim, which is another character in the show, and but you actually find out. It's spoilers. I'm not gonna mention any spoilers. But it's just another character, voice actor of Dio, who controls Milim, and I kind of don't like how they build up the character, and then he just ends up being a weak ass, and then they beat his ass quick. I kind of like, if they're gonna make an enemy there, I want to have at least do something, not become weak. But I mean, it was kind of funny. But yeah, it was an alright season. I can't wait for season 3 because I think season 3 will probably have more action than this season. Or this is the second part of the second season, if that makes sense. So that's probably why there wasn't much action, or it didn't seem like much action to me personally, because it's like, yeah. But for the slime series, I recommend to go watch it because it's a really good series. Another isekai, if you didn't know. Alright, next anime is Cheat Kusushi no Slow Life Isekai ni Sukuro Drugstore. I think the English name is Cheat Pharmacist Slow Life Making a Drugstore in Another World. So if you haven't guessed it from the title alone, it's another isekai anime, which yes, I do get tired of isekais, but this show was a good show. I can't say it wasn't, because I know some people were like, I don't like this show, but me personally, I did enjoy the show. It was a cute show with like his dog wolf friend that transformed into a human. But yeah, it was a cute show. I enjoyed it. It's a bit of comedy, fantasy, I guess, because of the potions and stuff. But I really did like the show. I think they probably could make a second season, but I don't know if it is gonna get a second season. But I enjoyed the first season. I did like the interaction with the demon kid when he's talking with the dog. But then you realize that it's like cute interactions. But the dog, the what's her name again? Oh, the woman. Okay, her name is Noera, which was a cute interaction, but then you realize, no wait, it wasn't originally a dog, so that means the demon lord wants to fuck. Oh shit. The demon lord wants to fuck a dog? No! But, whatever, I'll let it slide. Alright, so, it was a cute show. If you like those, if you like those calm shows where you can just sit down and watch it on TV, I'd say watch this show. But I wouldn't recommend it for just anybody. Alright, so this is Tsukiga Michibiku Isekai Dochu. Tsukigi, no, it's Tsukimichi Moonlight Fantasy. And yes, you couldn't tell by the title again, it is an isekai. But to be fair, I know everyone was trashing this show like, yo, another isekai. Fuck isekais. I fucking hate these shits. Stop making them. But this show is actually pretty good. I really enjoyed it. The goddess is kind of an asshole. At least the god from that world was a bit more nicer to the main character, which gets isekai. The only bad thing is that he's kind of like, you can't really speak human, but the humans tend to be assholes in isekais if you never notice it. But yeah. Well, I recommend it. It's really good. There's like kind of action, I guess you could say, and I think towards the end there was the most action out of the whole series. But it was actually a really good show. Recommend the show. Same thing with like the slime. I recommend you guys watch it. Those are really good shows. Alright, so then there's Kobayashi-san's Chino Maid Dragon S. Yeah, so it's Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid S. So this is season 2 of Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. I've not read the manga, but I know a lot of people really like this show. I've seen the show. It's funny, and it's also it's mostly comedy. And there was a lot of in this season there was a lot of backstory for the character, which was pretty interesting. And Yeah, so I know they introduced a new character there, and I know there's a controversy with that character saying he's just a girl, and why the fuck does she have huge boobs? But this is anime, so I mean, I guess you could say she has a lot of power, but I don't know. But I really did enjoy the show. It's a cute show. Would I recommend it if you like watching anime or you like comedy stuff? I say go ahead and watch it. I wouldn't recommend it to just anybody who just wants to get into anime. But it's a really good show. I'd recommend it, and it's alright. I can't really say much about it because this is a season 2. Usually season 2s I can't really talk much about it because you have to go watch season 1. But I do recommend the show. Alright, so Megami Ryo no Ryobokun. I apologize again. The Mother of the Goddess Dormitory. And yeah, so this was a weird type show because it was only 10 episodes, which was surprising. Kind of like you could make a season 2, but like I said, it's mostly a guy who gets into like a house. He becomes like a house dorm mother for these other girls who live in that dorm, and every girl has their own personality. It's kind of like a harem type anime, I guess you could say, but not really, because I don't think this kid could fall in love with like an adult woman. Well, I'm not gonna get too much into that, but it was like a funny show. It was a comedic harem, ecchi type of show. It was okay. I can't really say it was really good because it was like not really that good, but it was alright. But I would only recommend this if you like watching those ecchi animes, and make sure no one's watching you when you're watching this, because yeah, this is the type of anime you watch by yourself. Not unless you got homies and you're like, yo, homies are gonna come watch this. But yeah, but like I said, I wouldn't recommend this for just anybody. Oh my god, I keep forgetting to pause this. So the next anime is Nighthead 2041, and this show was really confusing. Well, first of all, this show was really confusing because you don't know what anything was going on. I mean, I tried to follow it, but I was still kind of confused. But towards the end, they explained everything, and basically, I'll give you right now is what I'll tell you right now is not really much of a spoiler, but it will probably help you if you're gonna go watch this show. It's mostly about these two guys who get transported into another dimension, which is a parallel to them, and because of that, they can't be together because it causes, you know, like that thing where you can't be in the same universe as another universe, or else it creates like a thing and then it's gonna collide, and it's just like that's basically what this show is. But you'll get it when you get to the end, because if I explain more, it's gonna be a spoilers. But I know a lot of people don't like this show because of CG, and CG tends to like get people like get flaccid instead of erect when they watch it. But honestly, the soundtrack in this show, and I'll give it a pass because, like I said, I don't really care much about CG. I mean, I prefer 2D, but CG's okay when they like do it good, and this had that bad of a CG. Not like the other anime, battle game starts in 5 seconds. Like, that was horrible CG with the villain, but this was good CG, and I really love the soundtrack. Amazing soundtrack. Like I said, I recommend this, but it's kind of confusing. So, like I said, if you're gonna watch it, try to like watch it, but like try not to like understand it because it's kind of like confusing. But the show's really good. So speaking of confusion, Peach Boy Riverside. This show was so out of place, and it's just like every episode was like, okay, this episode is right now, but it's actually the future event that happens in like maybe 3 episodes from then, and it's just like all over the place. And I remember people were like, yo, these every episode is literally a different story happening in a certain aspect, like a certain aspect in the story where it's like more ahead or more behind, and it's just like, what? But I did enjoy it. It was really good, the first episode, but then they mixed up the episodes, so I don't actually know the episode order you have to watch it in. But it's a good show, but the only thing that messes it up is that it's all over the place. I would recommend the show because there's a lot of like, I guess, kind of a mild action. But the story with the main character was really good. The only thing that messes it up is that it's all over the place. I'm not gonna say where to start it from. You probably have to look that one up yourself. But like I said, I recommend this show. And before I continue on, it's mostly based around the boy in the peach. If you don't know that story, it's like a classical story, and I don't know how classical. I'm not Japanese, but it's like a story that you always hear about, where it's like a baby in a peach, and a family adopts it, and then like she goes fights ogres, and yeah. All right, so the next anime is Heian Sedai no Idaten Tachi, which is the Idaten, the deities know only peace, which was it kind of ended it kind of dark. Oh wait, hold on, let me do the timer. They kind of ended it dark because they ended it with like some of the characters like getting, well, to be fair, they didn't die because I think they could regenerate, but they like entrapped them. But that's kind of like the ending, and I kind of like spoiled it. But it's a good show. I really like the opening track. Mostly basically around like a deity, a strong, super powerful deity that well, her previous like generation trapped all these demons, and they all disappeared, and they told her to like protect like the world. But then I don't know how the demons come back out, and I think there was like peace, and then the demons came back, and she trained like other people to become gods, and yeah, basically what the show, and it's just like them fighting each other. That's basically what the show's about. Shit, hold on. So yeah, really good show. There's only like a couple episodes, and it kind of leaves off with a cliffhanger, and I don't know when, if they're ever gonna make a season 2, but or maybe a continuation, but yeah, it's a good show. I recommend it. The opening's really good though. Speaking of confusion, Sunny Boy. So this show, you thought Peach Boy was confusing, you thought Nightheads was confusing, Sunny Boy was really confusing. This is like an episodic show with these kids who from a school, I guess, transport, well, not isekai, they're like teleported into another world, and they're like stuck on an island, and then you like, I don't know. I really did like it. Some episodes. I even like the ending of the show. But like I said, it was confusing, like, and I can't really say much about it because I think there was more deep stuff the show says, but like I didn't really pick up on much of it because, like I said, it's episodic, so each episode is different and mostly comes once every week. So maybe if you sit down and watch it again and try to analyze the show, you'll get what each show tries to mean. Because I think the show tries to like explain something more deeper in each episode. Because I know there was some episode where I kind of got it and I was like, oh shit, yeah, this show's really good. Even the last episode was really good. But like I said, in a story-wide aspect of it, it's kind of confusing. I recommend the show only if you like those like mystery, I guess you could say mystery type animes to it. But you're not gonna get a lot of it, so like I said, you have to like really sit down and watch it if you're gonna watch it. Alright, so then now there's Make-You Black Company. So this show was actually pretty funny. It's a guy who again gets isekai'd, and oh wait, I forgot the English name is the Dungeon of the Black Company. So yeah, gets hired, has to work some shitty jobs, and he's like, you know what, I want to become something. I don't want to just be working all this shit all the time. And he gets his homie, a lizard dude named Wanibe, and he's a homie, even though he didn't really like, I don't think he really did much in the show. I mean, he did do stuff, but I'm saying like he didn't really like contribute more than what he did. and you get like these other guys, the other side characters, where you get like a cute dragon girl like fucking eat stuff, and then you get like another. I think he's supposed to be an elf, Ranga. Ranga. I'm thinking of another Skate Infinity, but yeah. It's a good show. I highly recommend it. It's pretty funny. Hold on. Alright, times. But yeah, funny show. Highly recommend it. The way they ended it off, I think, because I heard that that's how the manga ends differently from how this anime is, and I think the anime ends it off. So I don't think there's gonna be a season 2 of this show. But yeah, I gotta read the manga to get what they're talking about, because I don't really know much about the manga because I only watch the anime. But it ends differently in the manga, which I heard. I don't know if it's true, but the way they ended it here, it was a really good ending show. And if a manga comes out, I'm going to buy it, and I'm going to buy the anime because I'm trying to support the animes I watch. Alright, so 100 Man no Inochi no Ue ni Ore wa Tateiru second season. I'm standing on 100 and I'm on a million lives season 1. I could have said Ichiman, but you know Ichihyaku? Whatever. But yeah, this is season 2 of the first season, and to be honest, why is it even called? I mean, well, they're called heroes in the show, but they literally let mad people die. Even towards the ending of the show, a lot of people died, and they didn't really save anyone. So I can't really call them heroes. And they're really shitty on their on their heroing. They're kind of shitty. But there was even a part of the show where they're like goblins, you know, not goblins, ogres, onis, that were attacking a village, and I felt more bad for them than I did with the villagers, even though I'm supposed to sympathize for the villagers. I mean, I don't know, it was like I prefer the first season, to be honest, over this season. But it was it's a good show, like I said. Not really isekai because it transported into the world, but well, spoilers. Spoilers. I'm not gonna say much because I have to go watch the first season, but this season was okay. Not really as good as the first season, but hopefully the next season's better. But I do recommend the show. It's a good show. Alright, so there's Otome Game no Hametsu Flag Shikanai Akuyaku Reijo ni Tensei Shite Shimata X. My next life as a villainess, as all roads lead to doom X. So I feel like the anime went way past Death Flags, because it mostly feels now like a slice of life, kind of like a romance type, but not really type show, rather than I'm trying to survive getting killed by every route that I'm choosing, because it leads to death. Because if you don't know, from the first season, she's like gets transported into this game world where she's the villain and she doesn't want to die, and she's just trying to like not die. That was basically the first season, and this season feels like extension, and it's like doesn't feel like that anymore. It feels like more like a slice of life, just chilling into this other game world. That's what it feels like. But I think there's gonna be another season, because I think she like if I remember correctly, she like there's like a new game. Well, it's spoilers, alright? I'm not gonna mention it, but like I said, I did enjoy it. Like, not for everybody though. I think I prefer the first season over this second season, but I do recommend the show if you like school based drama. No, I can't really say drama. That was mostly the first season. I guess slice of life. I don't know. But the show's alright. Alright, so the next anime is Blue Reflection Ray. And I know last season there was an anime based on a game, which is The World Ends With You. And this is also based off a game, Blue Reflection Ray. But I don't know if the game is based on a novel, I'm not sure. But this was actually a really good show. I did enjoy it. It's basically girls with like emotions, and they're like trying to help each other out with those emotions that happen. And like, I think the enemy actually has a really sad backstory towards the ending. Like, you find out why she's like that, and it's just like, man, that's really fucked up. What happened to the main villain's like life, or like life during when she was like living the human world, because I think she's like kind of like a supernatural like villain in like during the show. But yeah, it's a really good show. I honestly did not expect it to be good, and kind of depressing at times, but I highly recommend this show. And because of the show, I think I'm gonna buy the game and play it and see how the game is compared to the show itself. But it's a really good show. I recommend it. But if you like magical girls and guess you could kind of say drama based shit, I recommend the show. But like I said, it's not for everybody, so there's not really much action. It's more like sadness and emotions in the show. Okay, so next we have Kanojo mo Kanojo, girlfriend. Wait, hold on, I forgot my time. Alright, so Kanojo mo Kanojo, this is a comedy-based anime, I guess somewhat romance. I really like this show. It's just funny too. I like the moments when he said, like, the main character says some dumb stuff, but it actually makes the girl like get emotional. It's just like I like the parts where the girls get super emotional. It has like that super slow scene and the shocked face, and it's just like, it's just a funny show. I know some people are like, yo, what the fuck? This is the harem, disgusting. They're like, man, lighten up, alright? This is a funny show. I would recommend if you like ecchi, romance, comedy type shows. And Kanojo mo Kanojo is a good show. I've also reading the manga too, so I'm actually caught up with it. So, and like from where I caught up, it's a really good show. And I like how in the manga, the parents of the main character actually Oh, there you go, the timer. You know, I to be honest, I purposely let it end just so I don't say spoilers. Alright, next anime, Boku no Hero Academia 5th season. My Hero Academia season 5. So, I really like My Hero Academia. I started reading after the first season, and I'm caught up, and then it's already like 5 seasons already of this show, and I think a couple movies that came out, and all I gotta say is that I really like the show, but it's not my favorite show. And this season, I was so hyped for the My Villain Academia, and they kind of fucked it up. I don't know why. They did show Shigaraki's, that's his name, the villain's, I think that's his name. Unless I said it wrong, my apologies, but I kind of hate how they like messed it up, and some of the villain characters didn't really get much. Like they didn't show a lot. But next season, hopefully next season, where they fight, well, spoilers, it's gonna be really good. Hopefully they don't fuck that one up. But yeah, I can't really say much about My Hero. I think you hear it all over the place. It's a good show. Not good. I liked it because of the heroes, but just seeing because it's My Hero Academia is based around kid heroes, it's just like but the main other actual hero sides is like really cool, and I can't wait for my girl, I forgot her name, the bunny hero, until when she pulls up on the Nomus. Yo, that's next season, I think. Alright, so this next anime, Boku Tachi no Remake Our Life. This was a good show. It reminds me of another anime. I think it was called Real Life, where a guy who takes a pill and becomes younger again. But this is different because this is this guy who goes back in time and is younger and meets these other people in their younger age. His life was not going so well when he was older. Well, that was the first episode, but then we go back in time and then he like meets everybody else, and then it's just like, I guess, drama that happens. And then I hear people talking about who's best girl, but like usually when I watch anime, I don't really think about best girl. I just think, oh, if I like a girl, I'll be like, yo, that's my girl. Not waifu, but you know what I mean. But this show is interesting. I did enjoy it. I wouldn't really recommend it, but I would recommend it to my anime social like circles, not just anybody who's just interested in anime. But it's a really good show. I recommend it. Alright, next anime is Mahoka Koko no Dose. I apologize again, I don't speak Japanese. The Honor of Magic High School, which I think is a spin-off of the original series, Mahoka Koko no Yutose. Oh wait, hold up. I mean, it's what I just said, but Retose, which is based around the main character from a different anime, but it's the same story, but just on his sister's side, if that makes any sense. Same story, but in a viewpoint of a different character, which it was okay. I mean, not really much. Like, come on, it's obviously a siscon. Like, stop. Like, they try to act like it's not, but it is. Like, stop. Man, these guys with their incest, man. Like, relax, alright? But it's a cool side story. I mean, you could skip it, but I mean, if you're already into the other series, I'd say watch this one, so then you can know more about, I guess, the other, his sister's side of the story. I mean, I can't really say much because you have to watch the original version of it before, but like I said, go watch. If you're gonna watch the original one, I guess if you want another side story that kind of interlocks with the other main story, I'll watch this one. Alright, for our next anime is Kagegi Shoujo, Opera Girl, and I cannot lie to you guys, I really like this show, and I know I was kind of biased, but this was really good. Well, it's also because it talks about an anime that I've actually seen called the Rose of Versailles. I don't know how Versailles. I don't know how you say the name, but they also mentioned that in this show, and I think someone wants to become Oscar, which I think the main character is Narata Ai, and the other main character is Watanabe Sarasa, which Watanabe Sarasa is a tall girl, while Ai is a shorter girl, but Ai is like an idol, while Watanabe Sarasa is Watanabe or Sarasa is I forget what the acting was called. Well, she also kind of a bit more into the acting rather than I, who doesn't like males, which there's actually a backstory to that, which when you watch the series you understand why, and it's kind of fucked up, but it was a pretty good story. If you like those how do you say, I guess drama, I know I've been saying that a lot, but drama in terms of suspense and those acting type of shows, I recommend this one. It's a pretty good one. Alright, so the next anime is Magia Record Maha Shoujo Modaka Magica Gaiden TV Season 2 Kakusei Zenya Magical Record Puella Magi Modaka Magica Side Story Season 2 The Eve of Awakening. And I think there was only 8 episodes, which I just find weird because there's usually 12 episodes for each season of animes, but for some reason this show only had 8, which I found surprising. And like the first season, I was confused as shit of everything that was going on. I kind of got a feel for it because I saw the girls from the original series show up in this story, which I feel like they were only introduced there because they just want to references that in the same universe. And yeah, I was actually kind of glad that I saw them because I was kind of confused because this is a side story, if you didn't know. And I can't really say much about this season. Why? Because this is the second season. Usually when it comes to second seasons, my initial reaction would be from the first season, but because it's a sequel, I can't really say much. But as the ending of, I think this is the ending of this season. I mean, they could probably make a third season, but I can't really see that. But they did end it off, and it was an alright story, I guess. But anyways, guys, we'll go to the next one. Alright, for this next season, for the next anime is Tokyo Revengers, and oh my god, My Hero, oh my god, they really end the shit like that. I'm not gonna spoil nothing, but yo, this show is really good. Right? I didn't really think it was gonna be that good because I felt like it was a bit too comedic for something that I thought would probably be serious, but no. Alright, it's a really good show. I'm probably going to read the manga because of how good this was, and I gotta read what happens next because of how the way they cliffhang that fucking ending of the season, I should say, because there could be a second season. I don't know if they're gonna adapt it, but I would assume so because it was really good. Highly recommend it. If you don't know, it's a guy named Takemichi who has kind of like a shitty life right now at the moment, at the time being, in the first episode, and he somehow finds out, I think his girlfriend died, and he gets depressed. I forgot what happens. I think he was pushed, if I remember, pushed in front of a train, and he gets teleported back in time when he was younger, when he meets all his other homies. And I'm not gonna spoil much because the timer ran out, but like I said, go watch the show. It's almost like Erased, but like not about little kids. It's about fucking high school guys and thugs, and what makes it not cool when they got thugs in it. No. Alright, let's go to the next anime. But like I said, I highly recommend this one. This was really good. Alright, and this anime is Shinigami Bocchan to Koromaid. And this show, I thought it was going to be more serious, more of like a drama series based show, especially when I saw like the little OVA animation. I think it was like a short animation where they were like dancing together, but they weren't touching, because if you don't know, the main character can't really touch anyone because whatever he touches ends up dying. So I thought it was gonna be more of a base series, but this is actually a bit more like romantic. I thought it was gonna be a romantic, like serious type anime, dealing with him not able to touch anyone, but it kind of like gives off more of a comedic feel. So I mean, I guess it was alright, but I did enjoy it. I think this was CG, as a CG anime, which I know there's some people who don't like CG, but if you could just look past the CG, it's a really good story. Well, it's a really cute story, I should say, and you really fall in love with the characters that are in it. And I really can't really say much about it because they didn't really show much, but I love the interactions between the main character and the main female character, which is Alice and Bocchan, I think is his name. Alright, so we're gonna go to the next anime. Alright, so for the next anime is Tante wa mo shindeiru, which is the detective is already dead. And to be fair, I was like kind of confused because the first episode is like almost an hour long. So it's about this like the female detective named Sesta, and this other main character, Kimihiko, and they like well, technically speaking, he's like I think Kimihiko is like not like how to explain this, he tends to be like not really good with like being lucky, from what I saw in the beginning. And I think he was involved in like an incident with Siesta, and when they were on a plane, and then there's like this guy shows up and he's like a fucking monster. And then it's like, oh wait, no, this is not just your regular mundane detective show. It's more of a monster action based show, which is like huh? And then like each other episode had like, oh, it was like regular. Oh my god, the timer's up. And it's like regular humans, and then it's like, oh no, they're actually monsters in this world, but they act like it's normal, and it's just like I was confused for half the way. And then at the ending of the first episode, it's like, oh no, but she's dead. So like, what? Okay, but it's actually a pretty good show. I'd recommend it for people who like mystery type shows. I guess you could kind of say a bit of action, but not really much action, but like a little action. But it's a really good show. There might be a season 2 because of how they ended it. Like I said, if you're looking at the picture, like the picture they used with Siesta in it, with the girl with the white hair, she's not really in the show because she dies. If she's dead, and not really much to spoil it because it literally says that in the title. But yeah, you'll find out later on what happens with her, and she is still relevant in the story. I'll just say that much. But good show. I recommend it for people who like mystery-based animes. Alright, so that's gonna be the end of this Let's Talk a Bit, guys. That was really, I should call it Let's Talk a Whole Lot, but yeah, so I know there's a couple animes that I've not mentioned in this Let's Talk a Bit. Why? Because one, they have one more episode left, and I'm probably gonna just talk about my thoughts on the anime that have not finished yet, but they're mostly gonna likely going to finish sooner or later, maybe in like 2 weeks from now. But this is gonna go past my let's talk a bit that I usually do. So the ones I'm gonna mention is the anime that I'm gonna mention is D-Side Traumedy, the animation, which is another CG anime, and I think people already know what some people think about CG anime, like, oh, CG anime is fucking trash, but this show's actually pretty good. I say pretty good, but like I said, the animation is not that bad for what it was. But it's a pretty interesting show. There's probably like maybe 1 or 2 more episodes left, so I can't really say a personal opinion, but from what I've seen so far, it was pretty interesting, and I'd recommend it. If you could look past the CG, I would recommend it because it's actually pretty decent. But I wouldn't recommend it for like everybody. For everybody, because it's like I don't think probably people would like the show much, because yeah, I think this is CG. Okay, and another anime I wanted to mention, because I think this might finish, but maybe in like a week or 2 weeks or so, but I don't know if it's still ongoing. I gotta look it up to see how many episodes they are, but is Jahi-sama wa Kuji Kenai, or Kaji-sama won't be discouraged. The great the great Jahi will not be defeated. And this is also a cute little story about a demon lord who was warped into the human world, and she lost all her powers because she doesn't have the gem, and she was fighting a magical girl who was fighting her when this all happened. So yeah, cute. I guess you could kind of say slice of life, not really. Comedy based show where a demon lord gets treated like a little kid. And it's really cute and adorable. It hasn't finished yet, so like I said, I can't say what I think about the whole show entirely, but I enjoy what I've seen so far, and yeah. Alright, one of the other animes is Remain, which is mostly about water polo. I think that's what the sport is called. It's a sports anime. It's a pretty it's actually pretty decent. The main character is kind of a nice, like, I think they were in an accident. He lost his memory, so he lost his ability to play water polo. Then he trains with a group of friends that he meets up to play water polo, and then later on in the series you find out he's like, since he forgot his memory, he gets some of his memory back, and then drama happens, and then, like, it's pretty cool. But like I said, it's a sports anime, so if you don't like sports animes, I wouldn't recommend it to you. But if you like sports animes and like friendship, I say watch the show. But do be aware the main character is kind of a douche when you find out what happened later. But it's a really good show because you tend to overlook it afterwards. But like I said, it's only a couple episodes. Like, I think there's maybe 2 more episodes left. Yeah, 2 more episodes left, but they haven't finished. So I haven't finished this. So I can't really say personally like what my thoughts about the show is entirely. But I'm enjoying what I've seen right now. Alright, another one of these shows is Fena, the Pirate Princess, Kazoku Ojo. I didn't say you say that. And I really like the show. The animation is pretty good, and the soundtrack is okay. For some reason, this feels not really much of an anime. For some reason, it gives off more of a cartoony vibe. If you guys see the show, because this thing is currently airing, I think there's still a couple episodes left, like maybe 1 or 2 more episodes left. I forgot which episode. I think it was episode 11 or 10. But I know I think there's supposed to be only 12 episodes. But like I said, this feels more cartoony than anime. I don't know if there's going to be a second season. But like I said, it hasn't finished yet, so I'm not sure. But my personal opinion, I really enjoy the show. Just to support the show, I'm saying go watch it. I think it also shows on Toonami, I think. Because it's from Adult Swim and Crunchyroll production. So I'm not sure about that. Don't quote me on that. But it's a good show. Alright, so I'm dragging on with the video. So I'm going to just end it there. Like I said, there's just a couple ones I wanted to mention that were about to finish, but they're not finished. I'm not going to mention any that are still going and I don't know if they're gonna end it now because Scarlet Nexus is still ongoing, so that hasn't finished yet. There's a couple more episodes coming out, so I'm not gonna give an opinion yet. Shiroi Suna no Aquatope, which is, I really enjoying that one too, and it's still ongoing, so like I said, maybe the next Let's Talk About, I'm gonna talk about it. And then the Shaman King, which is still ongoing, and I don't know how much episodes there is, but so far it looks like there's gonna still be more episodes. Then there's Eden Zero, which I don't know how long it's gonna be, so I won't say an opinion on it. Maybe in the next Let's Talk a Bit, if it ends or not. And yeah, and some honorable mentions I wanted to mention, because there's still animes that are still going and haven't finished. And then there's Mukuro Dreamy Mix Season 2, which I didn't mention Season 1, but I'm watching that. Then there's Kyo no Kyoto, which is from the Michael House, which I think is a monthly release, which I really enjoy that one. And there's the Heike Story, which I think is the recent anime that's out. There's I think 3 episodes out, which that one's also pretty good. And yeah, I'm not gonna mention any of the shorts because if I mention the shorts, it's gonna be even longer video. So and yeah, and then there's Artist Witch. I said Switch, and Artist Witch. So that was also pretty decent. I mean, kind of confusing, but it was only 6 episodes out, and it was a pretty decent show, or short, I should say. So that's it for this Let's Talk a Bit for spring and summer of 2021. This is a shit ton to edit, and I'm gonna fucking be tired by the end of the fucking day because that's like 1 hour, almost 2 hours worth of editing stuff. I just hope it's not more than 2 hours. I just hope I don't need to edit. So now that we're at the end of the video, I'm not gonna talk about 2 mangas that I read, or it should be 4 originally because it's doing 2 Let's Talk a Bits together. But I'm not gonna do mangas because, like I said, these videos going on for too long, and that's gonna be even more work. And you know how I think about editing stuff. It's a lot of work, right? And I know a lot of people don't usually view my Let's Talk a Bits, but I really enjoy doing this because I like sharing what I think about a show, and I feel like people shouldn't just shit on shows because you don't like it. You should just say, oh, I'm not really interested in it, rather than just saying that show's fucking trash. So, because every anime out here has an anime, and they're originally a manga. Well, some originally a manga, so I give it the respect that it needs. So if I'm interested in it, I go watch it, and I think that's how people should do. If you're interested in a series and you don't know much about it, I say watch it, and if you don't like it, then you could do a 3-episode rule and drop it. But usually when it's me, I don't really like to watch an anime and drop it. I'd rather watch it completely and finish it till the end, and then have my personal opinion about it before I even talk about that this show's trash or not. So I think that's gonna be it for this one, guys. Before I end it off, I just wanted to say I wanted to apologize for not uploading for like almost 4 months. I want to start doing more gameplays and unboxings, or do more gameplays that I used to do. So you know, I used to be originally a gameplay channel where I used to make games, and if you guys want to see want me to play a game that you guys find interesting, I mean, even if it's just one person or something, you can recommend it me down below. I will read it and I'll see how much the game originally cost, and hopefully it's not something from a different console I don't have. But yeah, and also there's gonna be more unboxings because I got, like I said, statues and figures I can unbox. But like I said, I need to find a time and moment because I gotta set up all my stuff just to unbox. So like I said, hopefully I record more. I really enjoy doing these. It's not like I don't want to do them anymore. It's just that, you know, it's just when you're older, you'll understand when you're older. You're gonna realize you don't have really much time for doing a lot of stuff that you want to do. But like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I really appreciate for everyone and if you even got to this far into the video, I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart, because I know some people tend to say I talk too much and shut the fuck up. I don't want to keep hearing your shit. But like I said, if you've made it this far, I give you my I thank you in the deepest for listening to me this far. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Man, that was a lot to read. Well, now to edit this is gonna be a pain in the ass.